Screech by Taran NCT on AO3. Episode 36, Chapter 37. Yamada-sensei had been called to assist on a raid that Sir Night-Eye was pulling together, as was Aizawa-sensei. So Denki was sitting next to Hitoshi at the briefing. They weren't the only students in attending, though. Kirishima, Ashido, and Uraraka were there, as were the big three. At Red Riot's debut fight the other day, a type of drug I've never seen before was shot into Tamaki. The hero Fatgum said, a drug that destroys quirks. The room was tense at that, and Amajiki raised a hand and transformed it into a cow's hoof. I'm fine, he said quietly. The effects only seemed to last a few hours. Fatgum nodded at that. After analyzing the context, we discovered that human blood and cells were inside. In other words, the effect came from a person, a quirk that destroys quirks. Night-Eye aimed a remote at the projector in the room, and an image of a man with a green and purple coat wearing some sort of plague doctor mask showed up. The young head of the Shiosaikai, Shishikikai. His quirk is Overhaul. It's a quirk that allows him to break things apart and then piece them back together, however he wants. He paused, looking over the gathered students and heroes. And the bullet that could break down quirks. Hizashi has a daughter named Eri. There was no records or details about her birth. But when Miriam encountered her the other day, she had a large number of bandages wrapped around her arms and legs. Denki felt his stomach drop at that. Please, no. Please don't be implying what I think you're implying. He whispered so quietly only Hitoshi heard him, as evident by the hand that latched onto his. We're wondering if Shisaki is turning his daughter's body into bullets and selling them, he said, confirming Denki's worst fear. Wouldn't this have been resolved already if your intern had just taken the child? A hero named Rocklock demanded, an accusatory look in his eyes as he glared at Togata. Sir Night-Eye matched Rocklock's glare with one of his own. The one most frustrated right here is Lemillion. Pointing out things you think he should have done will help no one. He was patrolling alone, and did not have any means to protect bystanders from Overhaul if he had taken the girl. He is not to blame here. Togata nodded, and then smashed both his cheeks and gave a determined, strained smile. We will definitely take Eri next time and protect her. That's right. That's our goal, Denki thought to himself, also nodding. Izuku was rubbing at his shoulders, trying to massage the sores out of them. It had been just over 1 week since his wings had returned, and he was doing so many flight exercises with Keigo and Tokoyami and Dark Shadow. Yesterday had been dedicated to showing Dark Shadow how to shape herself to resemble wings, and getting a little bit of a lift. But today, Izuku smirked to himself as he noticed one of the items he missed and plucked it off. Today was fun. Every Friday, Izuku and Hitoshi ate dinner with their dads, and tonight was no different. So Izuku wasn't surprised to hear Hitoshi knock on his door to collect him for dinner. He was, however, surprised to see Hitoshi in such a bad mood. What's up? He asked as they walked to the elevator. You got this little crease between your eyebrows? Right here? Izuku poked Hitoshi in the crease only to get his hand swatted away. Wish I could tell you, he replied, with his half-usual smirk. Unfortunately, it's classified, so unless Dad says anything. Hitoshi trails off, while he saw Izuku nod in understanding. It has to do with the mission briefing Dad mentioned, I take it. The two boys stepped off the elevator, and Izuku glanced around the common room, noticing a few other students were also looking to be a little darker moods than usual. Tsu, Uraraka, and Kirishima. What are you thinking? Hitoshi asked as they walked out of the dorm building and towards their teachers' dorms. Just an observation, nothing more, Izuku said, not answering the question. Your observations are usually correct. Hitoshi compliant, earning a laugh from Izuku. The two of them continued to go on to the teacher's dorm in quiet, but once they made it to the floor their dads were on, Izuku perked up. Oh, you guys are going on a raid? And Tinky's going too? What? How? Oh, they're talking about it, aren't they? Hitoshi sighed dramatically and murmured, "Stupid owl hearing." Izuku quickly ran to the door and opened it. "Stop talking about classified raid stuff. I could hear you in the hallway, and I'm sure I'm not supposed to," he said in lieu of a greeting. Dad snorted. "Honestly, I'd rather you were coming along. If I get held up at any point, this guy is going to be difficult for the others to take down." Pa raised an eyebrow at that. "And here I thought that's why I was asked to come along." Izuku nodded. "As interesting as this all is, since I'm not going to be there, I don't think I'm supposed to be hearing this." Izuku had seen Dinky in the living room, so he walked up to him and nuzzled his head against his cheek and chirped, "Well, hello to you too, Zuzu." Dinky laughed and kissed the top of Izuku's head. "You sounded upset when I was coming up the door." Izuku offered and raised his head to kiss Dinky's cheek. "I don't know what happened, and you can't tell me, but I'll do what I can to cheer you up until you are allowed to tell me." "You act like you've been on raids before." Pa commented. "Well," Izuku blushed. "Not officially, but I've watched a few, listened in on them, and caught a few runners when things went sideways." Dad groaned and put his head on his hands. "Of course, that was you. Why wouldn't it be you?" Soon after, the five of them were sitting around the table, eating the chicken katsu that Pa had made. Pa had also made brownies for dessert, and that alone told Izuku that even though Pa was acting as if nothing was wrong, something about the raid was bothering him too. With a wary little grin, Izuku decided it was going to be up to him to lift everyone's moods. "So, I know you can't talk about your day, at least not what's bothering you, so I'll talk about mine." Izuku nodded and took a bite of dinner. "So, you all know I'm helping Kie teach Tokoyami how to fly, right?" Hitoshi snorted at that. "That's not what I heard." He laughed when everyone else looked at him. "I heard you terrorizing him under the presence of flight training, and he's just too busy trying not to die to complain." "Hey, we never even almost let him fall." Izuku defended himself. "Keigo always had a few feathers ready to catch him if I couldn't, and we kept close enough to the buildings for Dark Shadow to grab hold of if for some unknown reason both me and Keigo missed him." "Uh-huh. That's what he's scared of. Falling and not being caught. It had nothing to do with two biblically accurate angels following him around saying shit like, 'Do not be afraid.'" "Oh," Dinky exclaimed suddenly. "That makes more sense." He reached out and plucked a googly eye off of Izuku's neck that he must have been missed. "I was wondering why you had googly eyes stuck on you." That was a final push Pa needed to lose control of his barely contained laughter. Dad was trying not to laugh as he kept his quirk focused on Pa. "Maybe we should have left the kids out of this." Shouta signed to his husband as they were getting ready for bed, both because Hizashi had taken out his hearing aids and because he didn't want Izuku to hear. He had been thinking about the briefing for the raid all night, and he was wondering if it might be too much for his students too soon. After hearing about that little girl, there is no way the kids will just leave her there. Hizashi replied. The only thing keeping them from screaming about it now is the fact that they'll be able to do something about it soon. Shouta glared at the wall, but didn't argue with his husband's logic. Shouta kept feeling uneasy for the next few days, but when the call came to mobilize, he realized these kids were going even if he tried to stop them. Shouta glared at Izuku when he noticed he was among the rest of the kids who had been called for the raid. "You're not coming." Hizashi scruffed his son's hair and went to the next step to one of the officers who was giving last-minute information to the assembled heroes. "After Night-Eye used foresight on the Shigasaki member, we discovered the existence of an undocumented underground facility at the head of the Hirakasakai residence." Hisashi nodded along. "We were able to confirm that the girl we're trying to rescue is being held in one of the rooms there, although we're unable to uncover the entire underground layout. The path the man took is the shortest route to our target, and it's the best intel we could have for searching the Shigasaki expansive stronghold. However," another officer added, "even if we had there, if they use their quirks freely on us, it would make the search difficult. Out of the corner of his eye, Hizashi saw Hitoshi sarcastically pointing to Shouta and murmuring something to Denki, who snorted. Getting slapped on the shoulder by Asui, he was glad the students seemed to be doing okay. So, we have a list of the best of our knowledge of the quirks registered to the Hyakusakai members. Please memorize the list. The officer handed out a list, showing the strongest member of the Hyakusakai, the 8 bullets. Hizashi stood next to his husband, just existing next to him while they both listened to their students chat amongst themselves. It's nice to just be able to pull this out, huh? We won't give them time to hide, so we want to identify and apprehend all the members as quickly as possible. Togata grinned to the other students. Things are moving fast now, huh? Ashido choked. You're energetic for how early this is. I'm getting nervous. From detective work to cooperation with the police, there's so much I don't know, Uraraka exclaimed, lightly hopping on her toes. Right, isn't it mysterious? Hido laughed. Yeah, schools don't really teach you about stuff like this, but that's what these work studies are for. I had a hard time when I first started, murmured Akajimi, nervously. All the pros are so calm, Kaminari pointed out. Hitoshi snorted at that. Yeah, it's because they're used to this. An officer walked over to the group. Heroes, this might get a little violent. If you even see a slight hint of suspicious behavior of the residency, please deal with it immediately. Facum nodded and handed something to Akajimi. Tamaki, eat this. It's swordfish. Why swordfish? He asked, taking the snack. Thanks, I'll be sure to eat it. Hizashi let his attention snap back into focus when an officer turned to address them. We're up against gangsters who have survived until now. Don't let your guard down, and carry out your respective task. We will commence the operation at 8:30. All hands, move out. Commence! Once they read the warrant, charge in. I'm counting on everyone to move swiftly. He keeps saying the same thing over and over. Hizashi heard Kaminari complain. Yeah, it's like he doesn't trust us. Kaminari agreed. Uraraka lightly slapped the back of Kirishima's shoulder. You know that's not what he means. Stop being mean. The officer who had the search warrant walked up to the front door and rang the bell, almost as if they were waiting for that. Katsuki Riha smashed open the door. He would have crushed the officers, but Hitoshi had reached quickly enough to grab the officer in his capture scarf, pulling him to safety. Are you all right? I'm fine, thanks. What do you want, bringing all these people so early in the morning? Katsukama had exclaimed, barging into the officers. He was quickly joined by a flood of Yugaka thugs from within, all aimed to protect their compound. We shouldn't split up our forces here. Yuga Agency will take care of this, Yuga said as she grew into her large dragon form. The rest of you go now while you still have the chance. Let's go support Yugata. Hizashi heard Uraraka exclaim. Everyone get in, quickly, quickly. It's heroes and the police. We have a search warrant to search your premises on suspicions of manufacturing and unsafe illegal drugs. A search warrant? Who cares? Yelled one of the thugs. Stop resisting! One of the heroes shouted. Hizashi didn't know who said it, but it didn't matter. There was this big guy too. Are none of them scared? Use the shortest route to get to the target. The raid had begun, and he was determined to make sure the raid was a success. Red eyes narrowed, and a dark grin spread. Finally, Katsuki thought to himself, some fucking action. He had been stuck here since the warper had dropped him off, promising that Beakface could heal his arm. And yeah, the beaky fuck had stopped the bleeding and healed the open wound, but the jackass couldn't be bothered to restore his fucking hand. He'll just have to take Deku's the next time he sees him. Bakugou. Katsuki looked up from the couch he was slumped on, with his dark smirk still in place, knowing he was about to be asked to participate in the fight that was clearly happening. Just stay out of my fucking way. Beakface nodded and turned away. They're heading down to the lower levels. You can meet them head on if you would like. or have Mimic assist with an ambush. The choice is up to you. Okay, so he's back. He's back. We also have one chapter left. God, no. Okay, we have one chapter left. I don't know how that's gonna play out. Sorry I took a 1 day break. My bad. Work slammed me hard and I did not want to record yesterday. So I'm recording this the day that there is no video upload, and it's gonna get up tomorrow. So yeah, I just took a 1 day break. I hope you guys do not mind. I'm actually 100% sure you guys do not mind. You guys are quite sweet. I could take a whole month break and you guys would still be fine with it. Well, maybe not a month break. I think that's pushing it. But Bakugou's back. Let's talk about the fanfiction. Bakugou's back. Like, okay. Yeah. Okay, he's back. Is he gonna get arrested this time, or is he gonna get killed? I hope he gets arrested. I hope he gets the fucking help he needs. Okay. And, obviously, we have Eri gonna be rescued. I'm a little devastated that Izuku's not participating into the raid. I really want him to participate. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Don't look at me like that. You're weird. Okay, so what do you mean, says the one? Are you saying that my raindrops who also like partaking in said fan fiction are weird?
No.
It only applies to me. Okay. All right. Well, see who's gonna watch My Hero Academia with you now.
Well, no.
But sorry for those who don't know, that's Echo Bro in the background.
Yeah.
So we have one chapter left. I wonder how this is gonna be resolved. Is the raid gonna be okay? I hope nobody gets hurt. Oh God. Oh, I just realized. What if like one of them gets hit? Because I know canonically, Lemillion Mirio Togeto gets hit. So like I really do like. Okay, if he gets hit, it's fine. He loses his quirk. I don't give a shit about him. But like, what if like it hits someone else? Like the people who are at risk right now is and that I care about is obviously Aizawa. Oh my God, what if Bakugou gets hit? Oh shit. Oh, I want to see that. What? I know you were here the whole time. I can see you. Okay, but like what if Bakugou's the one who gets hit? Like think about it. He gets hit, he loses his quirk, he gets arrested. Not only does he become practically quirkless, something that I absolutely hate. Think about the irony. I want Bakugou to get hit. But okay, the characters that I think, that can get hit and are at risk of getting hit and I actually care about, are obviously Hizashi, Denki, Hitoshi, and Shouta. These are all 4 characters that I really do not want getting hit by this quirk. Although, it would be very interesting to see Denki get hit and see how Izuku reacts. But, as I said already, I want Bakugou to be the one who gets hit, alright? What? No, you're gonna say womp womp. You're gonna say it.
Womp womp.
Oh my God. You just made Sham happy. And like half of the people in the Discord happy. Somebody who says womp womp a little too much. It's like his religion. No, literally.
Our religion too. It's called the religion of womp womp.
Oh my God, get out. No religions are allowed in here. It's a cult, not a religion.
What's the difference?
Shit, you're right. Okay. Okay, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.